Hey, what's up everybody? It's TrapGoku, YouTube's favorite Super Saiyan, coming at you with another video commentary, thoughts, and discussion video. Now this piece right here is going to be involving MCU's recent release of their Phase 4 plans. Basically, Kevin Feige, the lead director at the Marvel Entertainment Studios, has recently released over at Comic-Con the entire map of movies that are planned to come out for the next 2 years as part of Marvel's Phase 4 of interconnected movies, sharing one continuity. This is actually a great idea as it gives fans a lot of things to look forward to, and I'm definitely excited. If you want to see that full mapped out list, I'll have a picture of it on screen right now so that you guys can view it. And like I said, this list is very massive. It's showing a lot of promise in a lot of things and showing a lot of paths that Marvel can take. Because for me, honestly, I feel like because of what they did at the end of Endgame, and if you haven't seen Endgame, please go see Endgame, because I'm going to be talking about a lot of spoilers in Endgame and in Spider-Man Far From Home. So if you haven't gone and seen those two movies, please go see them. But yeah, considering how everything was left at the end of Phase 3 with Endgame and Spider-Man Far From Home, there are a lot of different pathways that the Marvel Cinematic Universe can go, and it's going to be very interesting to see what directions that each of the various directors who are tasked with these movies are going to go with. So let's talk about each of these movies in order, and we're gonna just open things up for discussion. If you guys have comments and things like that you want to add, or something that was given that we missed, please put it in the comments below. I'd love to check them out. But starting off first, let's get into that Black Widow. Now, Black Widow is seemingly going to be a prequel movie to Iron Man 2, apparently. This is going to go over a secret mission by Wanda Maximoff, from what I've been researching. Now, I could be wrong about this, so please take this with a grain of salt. The villain is from some allegedly leaked concept art, is apparently going to be Taskmaster. So it's going to be interesting to see the Master of Assassins Black Widow versus a guy who could literally just has supreme muscle memory and can copy anything. It's looking to be pretty wild. The next movie we have is The Falcon and Winter Soldier. Now, like I said, not too much has been shown about all these movies, but with Falcon and Winter Soldier, I feel like it's going to be pretty, I guess, more straightforward, so they can dive in a little bit more with it. As you guys know, at the end of Endgame, Steve Rogers went and lived his full life after returning the Infinity Stones, and handed over a new shield to, oh my gosh, your buddy Sam, aka Falcon. So Falcon is now the new Captain America, or the hybrid, or whatever, Captain America, and Winter Soldier is going to be backing him up. It's going to be interesting to see how that series goes. I feel like I would have wanted Winter Soldier to be Captain America as well, seeing as how he was the original comic book character to hold that mantle after Steve. But also, Falcon as well was able to hold the mantle of Captain America. So they were both fine picks. I just felt like there was just a little bit more of an emotional connection between Bucky and Cap for that mantle. But all in all, it's looking to be a great little series. Apparently, from what's been going around, Baron Zemo is going to be like the main antagonist of the first season. Also, this is not going to be a movie. This is going to be a episodic formatted television series that's going to premiere on Disney Plus, the new streaming platform that will be dropping in December, I believe. Next, we have The Eternals. Now, The Eternals is a very interesting movie because now we're starting to get new species of humans. As you guys know, the Eternals from the comic books are a lot like the mutants. They're not like aliens or anything. They're just humans with different genealogies and going on right now. Like, I think the Eternals, if I'm not mistaken, they don't have the X gene, but from what's going on, the Celestials, you know, those giant creatures who like had the Infinity Stones in their control at one point, they're the ones who kind of kicked off the Celestials. I mean, they're the ones who kicked off the Eternals and like jump started their gene pools so they could develop and evolve into stronger and better versions of heroes and humans. This allows them to have incredibly different powers and abilities, from telekinesis to super strength, endurance. And also the Eternals is having a diverse cast, and as I've looked at the cast, there's black people are represented, Asian people are represented, white people are represented. It's just great to see all those different types of representation going on, and it feels like Marvel's really pushing for a very different, all new, all different Marvel, and it's pretty cool. But it seems like how the Eternal movie is going to be set up, it's going to be set up more so like the Eternals are kind of like the Illuminati in a sense, from what I've been seeing by the synopsis, that they've been running things for a while, and it's time things change up. And I think Endgame was the event that's going to shake this up. So it's going to be interesting to see where this property goes. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is going to be the next movie or the next plan or next media that's going to be dropping a part of Phase 4. It's going to go over Shang-Chi, pretty much powerful and legendary martial artist in the Marvel Universe. Basically, Shang-Chi's special ability is that he can literally learn any type of martial arts just by seeing it. Sort of similar to Taskmaster. He also gains an ability to duplicate himself later on in the comic books, but I'm not too familiar with the character of Shang-Chi because I don't really read the comic or keep up with the character. But it's looking very promising, as the Mandarin is supposed to be making a return. And it'd be good, like one of my friends said, it'd be good to see that wrong written that the MCU made all the way back in Iron Man 3. The next property coming out under Phase 4 is going to be WandaVision. Now, WandaVision is very interesting is because it's confirmed to be one of the first Elseworld, or I'm going to call the multiverse stories Elseworld stories, since they're not canon or confirmed to be canon to the main Marvel universe. But what it is that's confirmed by Kevin Feige and all of them, that WandaVision will be taking place in the 1950s, and it will be taking place with Wanda and Vision, if that wasn't already obvious. It's also going to be taking place in a different universe or timeline from the main MCU. This is going to be interesting because if it's going to be taking place in the 50s or the late 50s, it's probably going to be around the time that the X-Men were virtually starting off, and it'll be interesting to see how, if they wanted to, because I don't think Marvel would do that soon, introduce the X-Men, even though Kevin Feige talked about it. It'll be interesting to see her run into maybe Professor X or maybe Magneto as cameos, possibly. Next we have in May 7th, 2021, another movie I'm looking very forward to is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Now, this is a movie I've been hearing some good things about. One of my associates told me that there's a strong possibility that Wanda Maximoff might be in this movie. It'd be cool to see maybe Scarlet Witch and Spider-Man in this movie, simply because it's the Multiverse of Madness, and Doctor Strange runs into different versions of those characters who help him out along the way. That'd be pretty cool. Or maybe even Miles Morales. Since it is the Multiverse of Madness, there's a lot of things going on here we don't know. Apparently, Doctor Strange might get trapped in the multiverse by Carl Mordo, who's still just running around doing whatever he wants to do and taking people's magic. So he might have found a way to lock Doctor Strange in the multiverse, and Doctor Strange is literally just trying to navigate his way out and just getting randomly flung to crazy different dimensions. Kind of like the episode of Family Guy where Brian and Stewie were going to all those different dimensions and got stuck trying to get back. It's really crazy. I mean, it opens itself up to so many possibilities because we just don't know how much or what type of effects the events from this movie could have on the multiverse. This is legit going to be set the stage for maybe something a lot bigger in Phase 5 or later on in Phase 4. The next series we're going to get is also another multiversal story, apparently. It's going to be Loki. And apparently this is going to be picking up right after the point in Endgame when Tony Stark and everybody were going back into time, to different time points to get the Infinity Stones to defeat Thanos. During that time period, when they were doing that, Loki managed to get his hands on the Space Stone and escape after Avengers 1. So imagine a world where at the end of Avengers 1, Loki got the Space Stone and just left instead of the events that normally happened. That's what this story is going to be following, and it's going to be very interesting to see that manifest and how Loki's going to do this, because if he does become King Loki and takes Odin's power by somehow in this version of the story, this will be an interesting development. And I feel like we didn't get to really see enough of Tom Hiddleston's character as Loki. He played a fantastic Loki throughout his run in the MCU, and I'm so glad to be seeing more of him. And I can't wait to see it. And it's, like I said, another possibility is because we don't even know these other series and how much we know they're going to bleed into the Marvel Universe, because apparently everything that happens is connected, but we don't know how much. Next, we have another Disney Plus series that's going to be dropping. It's just called What If. Literally, it's just called What If. So what I'm thinking is this is going to be a series of maybe non-connected stories that involve characters in different situations. Like, for example, what if Bucky Barnes got the Super Soldier Serum instead of Steve Rogers? what if Mary Jane Watson got bitten by the spider instead of Peter Parker? What if Iron Man and Doctor Strange switched places completely? What if Iron Man became the Sorcerer Supreme and Doctor Strange became, well, Iron Man? That'd be pretty sweet or wicked. Or maybe like Thor and Loki's roles kind of reverse and Thor is the one who's not worthy but Loki is. That would be crazy too. Or a Deadpool story. Who knows? I mean, like I said, the possibilities for that what if are endless because Marvel has like an infinitely large library of just what if stories to draw from. Next, we have in fall 2021, we're going to be having Hawkeye. Now, Hawkeye is looking to be a very interesting show as it's going to develop a Hawkeye from, the Avengers as he's training his daughter to be the next Hawkeye. As seemingly enough, Hawkeye kind of just wants to retire and move on from the superhero phase of his life, which is very well warranted after having to see so much death, having to see so much loss, and barely being able to hold on to everything you love. I completely understand why Hawkeye feels that way. So, passing the mantle and, training the next generation, I feel like that's a good role for Hawkeye and any of the remaining Avengers, especially since he's kind of the only remaining active Avenger that was an original Avenger for the most part. Because we don't even know where Hulk's going to end up in any of this because it's just hard to say. He might have some cameos in a lot of other series, but I don't feel like we're going to see too much more of Bruce Banner for a very long time. Next, we have Thor, Love and Thunder. Now, this is a very interesting one, is because a lot of things about this series was announced before a lot of these other ones. So basically, Natalie Portman, the actor who played Jane Foster, Thor's girlfriend in the first two Thor movies, is actually coming back to the MCU to play a female Thor, rocking the Mjolnir hammer. So this will be strange, because we don't really know what hammer she's gonna get. As Thor currently only has one right now in the main timeline, as he returned Mjolnir. Well, Captain Steve Rogers returned Mjolnir in Endgame, so he only has Stormbreaker. So it'll be very interesting to see what will become of her character, because she's confirmed to be Thor. Now, another interesting thing that this creates is what's going to become of Chris Hemsworth's Thor? And will he go back to being just Odin's son and just running around, fighting and going on epic space adventures by himself? Kind of like how the Unworthy Thor did, because that storyline was freaking so good and so unique in the comic books that they were to kind of like, let Jane be the main Thor and then we do the Unworthy Odin, or a movie called just Odin's Son, focusing on maybe like this could be the end of Thor, or maybe Thor becoming something different. Maybe, yeah, it just opens up a lot of possibilities. Now, the last point I wanted to come into contact with for phase 4 is, some other possibilities and other like things we might get as nods throughout phase 4. So one thing that Kevin Feige was big in saying is that we're getting mutants and that we're getting the Fantastic Four sooner than we might think. And so it leads me to believe that a lot of these like end credit scenes throughout some of these movies are gonna deal with the Fantastic Four or X-Men in some way, shape, or form. I'm not saying we're gonna get them revealed or teased, but there's going to be a lot of teasing of those franchises. So get ready for that as well, and maybe some big build-up. Might start with the Eternals movie coming out next year, possibly, since they're kind of so closely related in being like evolved humans. Anyway, you guys, phase 5, we still don't know too much about that and what's going to go on with phase 5, but hopefully, like I said, there is one thing we do know, and that's about the new Avengers movie. But like I said, not too much is known about that, and we're just going to keep that on the back burner. The only thing I'm kind of really questioning about this list is Captain Marvel 2 going to be a phase 5 movie along with Black Panther and the third Spider-Man movie? Because if so, I mean, it makes sense, and not really makes sense to not have those new characters get a movie right away. Even though I do realize that it's been kind of like 4 years since Doctor Strange had a movie. But still, I feel like they could have been sprinkled in just a tad more. But like I said, this is a lot of content we're going to be getting. We don't know how many episodes or how many seasons of each of these Disney Plus properties we're going to be getting either. So it's looking very, very interesting and very promising for phase 4. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Like you said, my name is TrapGoku, YouTube's favorite Super Saiyan. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, rate my video. It really helps my channel grow. Also, if you would feel so kind and help me keep my lights on with Patreon, link to my description will be down in the below. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you guys enjoy my phase 4 discussion, video, talk kind of thing here. I hope it really sparks some discussions within you guys' friends group. And yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I hope you guys have a really awesome day. See you around.